Welcome from the doghouse. This is going to be about thanking those from the alternative media. Yes, sometimes the main media don't tell you shit, and there's a reason for that, obviously. But no, not all mainstream media people are actually media. But I thank them that are. They have gotten out the right info on ICE, they've gotten out the right info on what is really going on. They are backing ICE. They're showing what's going on. They have put their life on the line to get the truth out. Cam Higby is one that went out in Somalia people and showed what they are doing. Good job, Cam. No, I don't expect any alternative media to read this by any means, but I'm going to say it anyway. You have things like Tommy Boy. You don't have to 100% agree with him, but he's out there showing what people are really like, and that's a plus. They're going after him hands and feet for telling the truth. Not that he's telling a lie, he's telling the truth. Cam Higby's out telling the truth, and he's getting haters because they don't want the truth out. But yet, the mainstream media usually won't touch this. And there's others out there doing the exact same thing. Nick Shorter, whatever. I'm sorry, I can't quite say that, but and others out there, they are doing such a great job that they don't get enough credit for what they are doing. You have so much going on that the mainstream media just won't pick up, and these people are willing to pick them up. I am very interested in these people because they're doing the right thing. And there's a bunch of them out there. Just not them, but others are out there trying to get the truth out. And like I said, they'll never see this, but that's fine. I'm still going to say thank you, alternative media. We need more people like that. You know, there's a couple of females out there that are out there doing a good job. They're taking a situation and reflecting on the bad that is out there. They're also giving the good of what is out there. Don't think they're one sided because they're willing to show the good. I may be an old, ugly man, but that's okay. And one thing that's being called out, I won't name him by name, that they've called out that's a sewer swamp. We'll just call him, and he's good sized guy in Portland. This sewer swamp, we'll just say he goes by SM. I won't give him the dignity to tell him his real name. He's a piece of garbage, picking on elderly people, a vet in a wheelchair, which obviously, when you watch the film, that wasn't called for. But the ones on the other side will defend him, which is a joke. But all these people with the cameras out there, the alternative media, showed what really happened there. And more people need to do this. You got people showing the true colors of others out there, and they're going at it full force. They don't care, that only they care about getting the truth out. And I do. I think these people are great. You have, they're showing what Antifa really is. They're showing these way far out there people who they really are. And they can't help themselves. When they are approached by these people, they can't even control themselves. And they think they're in the right. Thank you, alternative media, for bringing this stuff out. Yeah, I've seen some interesting people on here. And I've seen some older people on here. You wonder what the hell they're doing, but that's their right to go out and participate in these riots or protests, whatever you want to call them. Me, I'd never do that. I'm 66 years old, and I'm not going out there and do it. But these younger people are going out there and showing how it's done. See, people criticize old people. Old people criticize young. But I'll tell you what, the younger people are stepping up. These alternative media sites are really stepping up and showing the mainstream media what they should be doing and how they should be doing it. And every one of them needed thanks. Yes, there's people out there that I 100% disagree with it. They're really not media. They're there for dollars in their pockets, and they want hate and discontent. Where these people going out like Cam and Nick and Tommy Boy, they're going out and showing what it's really like. That they're showing what is there. Yes, Tommy can be a little bit agitating at times, but he gets the point across. Cam and Nick take a different way to do it, but they still get it done. But they're all focused on what is right. And I watch more than them three, but them are the three that's out there the most. There's a couple ladies out there, I love what they do. They've been beat on, they've been ridiculed, and they still stand up. See, even you watch some of these videos, and a lot of these people are women haters. They hate women. They won't come right out and say it, but you watch their actions. They hate women. They hate the truth also, but see, and anybody out there that thinks I'm a racist, you're completely full of it. I've got a sister-in-law from Guatemala, an ex-sister-in-law from Guatemala. My nieces and nephews have married people from Mexico, El Salvador, and other countries, and I don't care. They're all welcome in my home. This has nothing to do with about race. It has to do if you're here legally and putting it out there. And it's even more than that. They're showing light on Antifa, and that's a good thing. And more light needs to be shown on them. And these alternative media people are doing that. They're going out and showing some of these Somalians what they're doing, how much they're taking from the taxpayer. And this is what I don't get. People paying their taxes are okay with it because it's against Trump. So we can't say otherwise. Otherwise we would be for Trump. They're idiots. One has nothing to do with the other. This has been going through every administration there is, left and right. It don't matter. It's there. And some of these guys are going out and showing it. And I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Even though they don't know me, I thank every one of them. And they need thank. They're bringing out the evils of this country. They're putting them out in forefront, and that is good. Sometimes their life's on the line, but they're still doing it. And I appreciate every one of them for going out there and doing that. They're doing it for the right reason. Because we all see the idiots out there, sewer swamp and the rest of them, what they're really doing. Some of them really talk tough. You notice that? And these guys brought it out just on the cameras, and you can see it for yourself. They're all tough until they get a little bit pushback, then they run. It's like the little brother that goes behind, and I'm the little brother, by the way, will start something and run behind his mom or whatever while he's upset his brothers and sisters. Same concept, really tough. And I've done it really tough until they look at you funny and you're going to go hide. I can see that as siblings, but when you're really out there doing it in public with other people, that's pathetic. Yes, I come from a family. My mom had 10 kids, and I'm number 9. Dad had 2 before he got married to my mom, so there's 12 of us altogether. Some have passed, but I'm number 9 for mom and number 11 for dad, so I'm on the tail end of things. But when you look at things out, I just want to put that out there who I am. I am a real person. I have real feelings and I have real emotions. And I love it when I see something like is happening now. That's like today. I loved it when they said that ISIS is pulling back from Minnesota. That's not a defeat. I think what is really happening is they're going to start concentrating more on the Somalia problem with the money. As long as these other things are going on, it's taking the attention away from that. And people out there showing what is going on is to thank for this going forward. Because we all know you have to prioritize things. Obviously, you want everybody here that's legal, but you have a problem with American money, and they need to concentrate on that in Minneapolis. Yeah, other areas you go back and concentrate more on deporting the illegals. That's all well and fine. But here's what's going to happen in Minnesota. When this, and I do believe that's part of backing off on this case, thanks to the people on the alternative media pushing this out, there is going to be results. If you would have left it to the mainstream media, it was not happening. Obviously, most of your media is to the left. Even some of the alternative media is to the left, which is fine, but at least with even them, they're showing what's out there. They may have an opinion, but they're out there showing it. And I don't mean somebody grabbing a camera, going around the streets, looking around, thinking they're media. That's not media. What Nick, Cam, and Tommy is doing, that is media. And what if some of these ladies are doing? That's media. That's not grabbing a camera and just going around shoving it in people's face. Although they can do it, it don't make them media. These people have put their all into what they are doing, and they need to be thanked for that. We don't need bad things happening to them. They are putting themselves out on the line, and they need to be thanked for it. Alternative media is the thing of the future, because you just can't rely upon a bunch of media that's go with the flow and not what is really there. Even look at the getting rated in Georgia, the ballots. You think they'd want to set, if there was nothing wrong there, and there's some media that's covered that too, but if there was nothing wrong there, why wouldn't you say go for it? Here, we're going to cooperate. Then we're going to shove it in your face and say, I told you so, there was nothing wrong. Why are they not doing that? But even some of that, with the alternative media out there, it's going to be more and more out in the open than with the liberal and even some of the conservative mainstream media. They don't want to cover this. There's a few reporters that want to cover it, but they don't want to cover any of this. They don't even want to cover the Somalia deal, even though they knew it was going on. Thanks to people going out there and put it in the open, it's a good thing. But I can't stress it enough. Some of these alternative medias out there is doing one hell of a job. They're showing the jackasses that are out there. They're showing the good that's out there. They're showing the good the ICE and everything else is doing. No, like I said, if they're here legally, leave them alone. And you know, over this whole thing, if these sanctuary cities would have went in and say, okay, we're going to let you in the jail system, and when we have a bad person, we're going to get you to come and pick them up. None of this happens. The Somalia deal would have still happened, but none of this would have happened. Why do you, in my opinion, why do you think they are doing this? What makes everybody, I'm doing two, three things at once here, but why do you think that the alternative media wants all these people here? They're voters. Why do you think they're against voter ID? They will lose voters. And that's another thing. I'm sure they're going to get involved. Some of these media, alternative medias, get involved in this and bring some of this stuff out, which is all in good. They've done such a good job of bringing things out. And once again, thank every one of you. Not that any of you is going to listen to this, but thank you all anyway. You don't have to listen to it to have my opinion out there. When you have people willing to go put themselves on the line to get the truth out, them are real, honest, good people. Yeah, I live in Idaho, so not too far from one of them, one of the alternative media people. I watch Tommy because I like his style. I don't necessarily like all the foul language, but overall, he's out there. He's showing who he is. He's bringing to life these so-called leftists. Shouldn't say so-called. That's what they are. And how easy it is. They know what he's doing, and they still react like they do because they don't have a clue. And alternative media is bringing this stuff out more than any regular media would. And that's why these guys need to be listened to. You don't have to agree with anybody 100%, but go out there, listen to these people that are putting things on the line, their lives, their way of life. People hate the truth coming out, and people will try to destroy the truth, and that's what they're trying to do. But they are standing up. These alternative media people are standing up to what is wrong. There is more coming out because of them, not the mainstream media. They would have put the Somalia deal on the back burners, which they'd already done, and hopefully nobody would say anything about it. When that stuff is brought out, they can't hide it no more. And that's what these alternative media places are doing. And that's really, really good for the American people. And even if you're not from our country, they're still going to see some of this. And because of these people, we do have a better place to live as far as knowledge going on what is going on. Because of alternative media, we've seen how that swamp rat hurt that veteran and thought it was cool. He may be big, but he's really a coward when it comes down to it. He'd probably do that to a woman too. I'm not saying he would, but it wouldn't surprise me. A woman would have done that, he would have clocked him. Why? Because he hates himself, in my opinion. The guy is that swamp rat is just that, a swamp rat. SM is a swamp rat. Some of you'll know who it is and some of you won't, but that's all well and fine because I'm mostly here to praise the good work and the energy that some of these alternative media is putting in to get the right word out. They are not ditching anything. They're going and showing it, not only in Minnesota, other areas, and they're going to be hated regardless of what they do because they don't want them around. They don't want the truth, or the mainstream media don't want the real truth out. They would rather pocketed dollars in their pockets and have the real thing out there because, that money means more to them than the reality of the truth. And alternative media is putting out the reality of the truth. No, I don't have I got some followers. I mostly, anybody that listens to this that hasn't listened to me before, I do mostly shorts. I really don't get into a lot of this, or I haven't. I don't know if I will, uh, putting out videos because I don't edit. I don't have the tools to or knowledge. I'm an old guy, so some of this stuff is very foreign to me to improve. I just don't have the stuff to do it. But I still come out here, do a lot of my shorts. So it's not about money on me because you don't get nothing off of shorts or very little. But what I'm getting at is everybody has a different path to go down. And just because I'm on a different path than a lot of people, I have the guts to say, thank you, alternative media. You're doing a great job. And you should be proud of what you are doing because you're doing the right thing. I'm proud of every one of them. Not a one of them know who I am, but that's fine. I'm still proud of what they're doing, going out and putting this stuff out. The more that comes out, the better off we are. And once again, thank every one of you for the job you are doing. Because some of this stuff, like I said, mainstream media won't put it out, and we'd never know it would exist. It was mainstream media that brought attention to Portland. I think some of it, the mainstream media was like, oh, it's just Portland. But it needed to come out, and thanks to alternative media, it is out. Thanks to alternative media, Swamp Rat was called out. And I do. I want to thank every one of you. Like Tommy said, and I have relatives there. I've I don't live even close to there in Idaho, but he said he lived sometime with his grandma in Wilder. I have relations throughout Wilder and Payette and all through there. Nieces and nephews, and I live on the other side of the state pretty much. But that was interesting when he said that. That was Tommy Boy. You know, and others of them are like Cam Higby and all them are out there doing, Nick Shirley doing a great job. Everybody needs to go personally and say thank you for the job you are doing. It only take a few words and a thank you, because there's no way they'll ever see everybody and what they say. They're just getting so big because they're doing the right thing. They're getting people following them because they know what they are doing is right. They know the mainstream media isn't the place to be much anymore, because you get more from alternative media than you do anywhere else. So that's all I had to say. I just want to, even though, like I said, they'll never see this, thank every one of you. I appreciate every one of you. A hard, a heartfelt thanks to every one of you. The ladies out there doing it, the guys out there doing it, thank you for the work you are doing. And you're doing it for the right reason. Keep up the good work.